Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Lioness podcast show. We're very excited for this one as well, as it's someone new to season 2. We're joined with Carla Classen playing Bianca. Carla, thank you so much for joining us today. This is awesome.
Thanks for having me, Josh.
That's
it's
really
so
great.
Good to see you.
How have things been with the release of season 2? How are you feeling up until now? Are you happy? Are you nervous? Are you anxious?
I live in anxiety, so yeah, anxious, you know.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, very anxious, but like proud.
Yes.
It's strange. I mean, it's also it's strange because I came into the show and there was like already a whole dynamic, a whole story. I had like 2 scenes in like the last episode of the first season.
Yes.
And it was one of those things where people are like, yeah, you know, if we get a season 2, you're gonna get a big part. And I was like,
You were like, yeah, sure.
sure.
And then you did.
And then I did, and I was
Yes.
like, can I swear?
You can.
Great. Then I was like,
Yes.
and then, yeah, it was so great. I was really nervous about that. And I was a big fan of the show, so I was,
Okay.
yeah, I was very nervous.
Okay.
But everyone really had this incredible, like, welcoming attitude and
Yeah.
feeling. And then, you know, it was still, but
Yes.
it helped.
Did you have any sense of like, and not on a personal level, I kind of want to ask it in terms of character, was there any form of expectation that you had going into season 2 of like, where do I place Bianca? How do I choose to play it that it fits in with what's already built?
Yeah, I mean, sure, and you can like plan that to death, right? But you actually, like, working with the actual actors shifts everything.
Yes.
Like, if you're working with Shannon in a scene, like, she's incredible, and then Sam is like this force.
Yeah.
So then you're like, shit.
Yeah.
How does that impact me, and how does that impact Bianca, and how does that sort of shift the power dynamic? But also, I mean, and it was in conversation with Ilse as well, which was that everyone's got to think that Bianca is like, she's not gonna get it right. Like, that she needs to come across as quite weak, and like all the other characters kind of need to look at her more as a pest, but not as like an actual threat.
I see.
And so like that was interesting, and I was really glad Ilse sort of gave me that insight. So yeah, I think it's really interesting more when Max comes in and you get to just understand.
Causes even more trouble for everyone. Yeah. It's we were saying before rolling, the 3 moments that were really cool was your initial come in episode 1, with the ending of you realizing it was on TV, and that the feeling I got was like, oh, this is going to cause so much. This is going to cause so much trouble.
Yeah.
And then yourself and Shan meeting up for the first time, and that realization hitting her that she's literally not the only one in this position right now.
Yeah.
And both in this downfall because of the same man.
Dude.
And then the third, our interaction for the first time, which I was immensely nervous for.
Really?
Immensely.
Why?
Because it feels and is that it's a very important scene.
Yeah.
That there's such a love that Liam has for Sam and for the role of a mother, and written throughout the text of season 2, it kept coming up that Liam's concern was the kids. It was always the kids. It was her kids, because he can resonate with how they could potentially be feeling with this loss of a father and a mother having to take that role. How did you feel about those 3? Like, those are like 3 fundamentals of you coming in. How did you feel towards them?
Yeah, firstly because literal like day 1 of shooting and my first day, we shot almost all of the scenes in Bianca's mom's house.
You see her?
Yes.
Yeah, that's her. That's the woman who came to breakfast just before your husband disappeared.
Are you sure? That was a long time ago.
No, I'm sure, 100%. That's definitely the woman who was looking for Andy.
Samantha Hugo.
But I remember Ilse was saying that shot was also supposed to mirror like a similar shot, the same thing that happens to Sam in season 1.
Where she has that TV moment as well.
Yes, exactly. And then that scene with Shannon, that was, I was very, very nervous. But this is like really incredible thing that I love about acting, which is when you get this sort of like privilege to just work with another actor who's like cool, we're here, we're in the moment, let's drop in and let's just do it. And I mean, like, you've worked with Shannon, she's just incredibly,
She's incredible.
like, giving and listens, and like, she's just with you. So that scene was surprisingly easy to shoot. I was very nervous about it, but I was like, okay, like, we're in the moment, we can do it, cool.
Yeah.
And then that last one was like, oh, ours, yeah.
Yeah.
I was also nervous about that, because I wasn't 100% sure, like, I mean, I hadn't worked with you either. We'd had like a great chat before that.
We did.
Bianca. Hi, it's Samantha Hugo.
Hi. Yes. Thanks for getting back to me. I wanted to talk to you about something.
Yeah, I know what this is about. We should meet.
Where did you take my husband?
Your husband and my husband are the same person.
Adrian Hugo died 10 years ago.
He faked his death.
What?
Yeah, but I think also what was cool about that scene was like I had no idea what you were gonna do. And like also just like dealing with your physical like presence is also so interesting, and the juxtaposition of that, right? So there's an assumption like walking up to this big dude like,
Are you Liam Hugo? I'm Bianca Curtis. I'm trying to find my husband, Andrew Curtis.
Sorry, I
He's
don't
also
know.
known as Adrian Hugo. Do you have any idea where he is? He never came home.
I'm sorry.
I think it was also interesting with Bianca, she doesn't know how much everyone knows.
Exactly.
So she's always like, she's got it. And I love playing characters like that because of how little I am as well. It's like people make an assumption about you that you're not fierce or you're not, you know. And I love that. Like I love coming into a situation and being, nobody actually knows how much Bianca knows. She doesn't know how much they know. So it's also like a game. It's like, how much can I get out of you if I play it like this, if I play it like that, if I... Yeah.
Is there a lesson or a moment out of season 2 that you would want the audience to take away from Bianca?
I think for me it reminded me, like, with the sort of breakdown of her and like Max's relationship, and then, you know, trauma bonding through the show, I guess, is that like we can carry a lot of resentment for a really long time that like erodes like you and your sense of being and your quality of life. And sometimes if you really look at what the thing is that breaks your relationship apart, it's like so tiny, but it's the tiny things that build up over time, and when you don't speak to each other you can make assumptions and you can assume what they're feeling and how they feel about you. And actually, if you just had a conversation, which is so simple, he'd been waiting 8 years for her to just message him, which is like so heartbreaking. And if he had been there, she would have avoided
A lot.
all of this, which
trouble.
is sort of the tragedy of all of it.
I'm not going back to her.
You honestly believe that she told me everything she knows about Andy?
No, that's not what I'm saying. She knows where he is, but for some reason she can't say. I need to figure out why. Someone's got a hold over her.
Andy's brother.
Jason Hugo scored the most out of Andy's supposed death. And I'm asking myself what he did when Sam brought Andy back to Joburg.
No, don't say that. Okay, don't.
Thank you to everyone for listening. You now know Carla a little bit more in depth. It's been incredible to have her be a part of the journey of season 2. Please don't forget, tune in every Thursday at 8 p.m. on Mnet to watch season 2 of Lioness as the story keeps rolling out. Thank you guys so much.